Hey, Topping Airlines Math and History, and we're gonna do another example problem on how many solutions there are with systems of equations. So what we're gonna be trying to do is find out how many solutions will make both equations true. There are three types of solutions that we can get in an equation like that. A normal solution will get you one answer. A no solution will give you no answers. And an infinite number of solutions will give you an infinite number of answers. Let's see what this one is. So, when we are trying to solve these kind of problems, then what we're going to be trying to do is turning them into y equals mx plus b form. What we're going to do is isolate that y and have it be alone from the other equation. So, with the two equations right here, the top one we don't have to deal with because the y is already isolated and it's in y equals mx plus b form. The second equation, yes, we're gonna have to deal with that one because the y is not isolated. There's a 4 right there getting in the way of y. So what we're gonna do is do extra steps with this one. Y equals 3x plus 1, that's gonna be okay. With this kind of problem, to get that y alone, what we're gonna be trying to do is divide pretty much everything by 4. Then we'll get y alone. That y wants to be alone. So it's asking that 4 to divide everything by itself. So y equals 12 divide that by 4. That is going to be 3. And that x. Then we add 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. So our answer, when we rewrite it in y equals mx plus b form, is y equals 3x plus 1. Let's put the equation on a blank piece of paper and compare it with the other one. We have turned these equations and turned them into y equals mx plus b form to get these equations. Didn't you notice something strange and a bit odd about these two equations? Well, what we're going to be trying to do, or what we were doing, is how many solutions do these two equations is going to get us. Like, how many solutions does these two equations even have? The strange thing is that these two are the exact same equation. Y equals 3x plus 1. So pretty much they're the same slope, the same equation, and we can tell that this is an equation that'll give us an infinite number of solutions. That means anything you plug in for x will bring you to y. Like if we place 2 in for x, 3 times 2, that is going to be 6 on both equations. And then we add that by 1, y is going to be 7. Or, if we add 4 for 3 and x on both sides, 3 times 4, that is going to be 12. And if we add that by 1, y is going to be 13. So no matter what number we add in for these two equations, we'll always get an answer that will make these two true. So that's why we get an infinite number of solutions. Let's watch an example where Mr. Krabs gives Mrs. Puff an infinite number of gifts and presents.
Well, I think
The sun is beating down on poor Mrs. Puff's head.
As your financial advisor, I suggest...
There's no time for suggestions. Go buy a hat. Today. Don't worry, Mrs. Puff. I'll shade you. SpongeBob, hurry.
One shady hat.
Good job, Sam.
Oh.
My fault. I'm not thinking clearly. I'm making a sailor's promise, boy. From this moment on, I won't ask you to buy anything for Mrs. Puff.
A few moments later.
SpongeBob, Mrs. Puff needs a new fur coat. You're spending all my money. Puffy needs a new pair of shoes. You're breaking me, boy. She needs fine jewelry.
that can be an example of an infinite number of solutions. With this kind of equation, it doesn't stop. Looking at the equation is one way we can tell it is an infinite number of solutions. But there is another way we can prove why it's infinite number of solutions. By actually graphing it, we actually get to visualize why it's infinite number of solutions. So here is a way we can look at it, the two equations in a graph. So the red line is 3x plus 1, and the blue line is also 3x plus 1. With an infinite number of solutions, both equations are technically the same slope, indicating that every time we put in something for x, we'll get what y is. So pretty much, anything on the line can be an answer to two of the same equations. They're technically the same slope. These are all examples on why they are all infinite number of solutions and how you can tell that it's also infinite number of solutions. Thank you for watching Tau Penalized Math Industry. Like and subscribe. And to end the video, let's see what SpongeBob has to say about the Mr. Krabs giving gifts to Mrs. Puff.
SpongeBob, I'm glad I caught you. I want you to buy Mrs. Puff.
Wait! Don't tell me! You want me to run down to the store and buy Mrs. Puff something she doesn't need, then you want me to run back here so you can say, "Arr, SpongeBob, you're spending all me money." And then I'll say, "But Mr. Krabs, I'm only doing what you said." Then you'll say, "We're not talking about this or this, we're talking about this."
But lad, this time's different. Mrs. Puff needs this.
Are we going to the park soon?